commencing countdown.
Engine on. For the first time in a while. Brilliant, no smoke, no messing. Right, so a little short hop down to the marina, fill it with water and then carry on, and I will explain. Okay, back rope loosened for a quick getaway. It is something like 6:30 in the morning, which is insanely early. I'm pretty sure it's the earliest I've ever started that engine with an intention of moving the boat. Oh, do you know what? It's alarming how quickly you forget the basic order of the little jumps and you're casting off. Right, now the wharf I'm stopping at is on that side, far side of the boat, so leave the rope where I can reach it from over there. When I do more in a little while, I'm mooring on this side of the boat, but just in case, I'll leave the thing accessible on both sides. Now, contrary to my normal practice, not going to push the boat out until the rear end is free. So it makes the rear end casting off just a bit less stressful. Because look, rope on the ground, boat going nowhere, at least for now. Got a little bit of time to undo the stern, so let's get over here. Oh dear. Yeah, some absolute hero of a dog walker actually threw a bag of dog poo on the roof of the boat. Just why bother? Mooring chain was stuck. It was come out. My front end's coming out already. So I get a little shove from the back and we can be on our way. Right, let's get that rope up. There we go. Making sure I've not stood in anything unmentionable. Right, no boats. Well, that's not a surprise. It is insanely early. 6:42, so yeah, most boaters will only just be getting up. Anyway, it's a short cruise to a marina, an early fill up. So yeah, I need water. I'm in imminent danger of running out, and I didn't even know. Well, I would have found out. I'm going to just go into tick over. Tick over forward revs. Yeah. And there, of course, as I think I've mentioned many times while I've been at this mooring, the A38. These are the boats moored at Streethay Wharf. Lovely location. Oh dear, oh dear. And I've had a friend of a friend looking at my central heating, but no joy. No joy yet, anyway. You know, gave it a strip down, serviced it, new gasket, cleaned all the jets out, these sorts of things. Did all the stuff in the hope that would solve it, and it didn't. So we've got one more option, which is a glow plug, and then we're looking potentially at the question of buying a new one, a whole new central heating unit. What is that? Which is horrendous, really, you know, considering it's 8 years old, maybe 8.5 years old. It's not that old, it shouldn't be failing, but anyway, we'll see. So this is just a quick stop for water, and then I'm carrying on. And the reason I'm moving early is because I could have moved yesterday, and stupidly I didn't. Today is spotting day. I'm still going to get more work done, but I'll need to come back. Today's spotting day, so I can't be here when the spotters arrive. Otherwise I'll get into trouble. I mean, technically I've got a breakdown, but it's a heating breakdown. It's not an engine breakdown, so you're not allowed to. If you've got an engine breakdown, they let you stay longer, obviously. But this isn't that. It's weird as well, it's got that cool of the morning when you're in the shade. It's down to sort of 12 degrees, you know, cool morning. But already in the sunlit areas, you can feel the heat of the sun already. So I don't need the central heating. Ironically enough, I probably won't use it much now. But you've got to have it ready for the autumn. And these are the moorings at Streethay, and they seem to all have hook-up on them. Be a lovely place. If you had to be based in one location, why the hell not? What a lovely place to do it. So, got to get the boat in to that wharf. And I've only got the length of the boat to work with, really. I've only got the length of the boat to work with because there's a boat at the far end of the wharf. So I'm going to nose the bow in. Super slow tick over. Now it's one of those things, because I'm moving early, there's no marina staff on. And they might, in normal situations, they might come out and say, you know, is there well, we charge a couple of quid, some marinas charge a couple of quid. It's only a nominal thing, you know. I've seen some say they charge £2. Perhaps down south it'll be like a £5 just to fill it with water. Which in this case is worthwhile, because the nearest tap's 7-8 miles away. I don't want to go that far until the second phase of the central heating's tried out. And if it's going to save me £1,000, it's worth a try, well worth it. So I've done pretty good there, to be fair. So into reverse. There we go. Let's get this on. I'll tie up the back end as well. Now this is going to take half an hour, so I'm not just going to run the engine for this. The rope has come off its loop. Right. Okay. Oh. Right, off we go. The front end's coming out quite a bit, so better jump on and get a move on. So no staff showed up, but of course, yeah, it's only maybe 7:15 a.m, so there won't be any staff. So I'm just going to go, to be honest with you. I'm moving today. I still need another follow-up look at the central heating, so I don't want to leave the area while he's halfway through the job. So I'm going to move a couple of miles down to a place called Whittington this morning. So, you know, my guy, I don't know where he lives around here somewhere. But I don't want to go too far anyway. You can see these are the moorings at Streethay Wharf. Lovely place. I mean, the only potential downside you've got here, right, is the A38 is literally 200 yards there and you can't cross it, so anywhere around rush hour it's solid bumper to bumper. It moves, but it makes it a bit dodgy finding yourself a space to pull out, I feel. There's a lovely orange dog, like a fox thing, on that boat. They've got a spotlight in the shape of an old diver's helmet. What a fantastic thing. I've got to come back this way in a couple of weeks. As I say, get a follow-up for the central heating. I've got to come back, so I'll see that again. But it's the most extraordinary headlight I've ever seen on a boat, and it's magnificent. A diver's helmet, looks like anyway, mounted on the bow. Big circular thing, spherical thing, with obviously a light, not in use because it's sunlight, etc. But anyway, so short cruise, I'm going super slow. This is like ridiculous. 1.5 miles an hour, you know. It's literally forward, tick over, just push forward very, very slightly. I'm just keeping an eye on where we're at. The other great thing about summer is, of course, your brew doesn't cool down to being undrinkable as soon as you put it out. Just enough heat left in it. It's the first one, which is very nice. This massive spider, oh my god, it's the first one that could have been in my face, by the way. That spider, it's hanging there. But pardon me. That didn't look good, right? Don't panic. I need to swallow that tea. So what happened there was, I felt a slight tickle, as if I might be going to cough. Now, 9 times out of 10, when that happens, if you drink, you stop drinking, whatever, and you you cough. But then I thought, maybe I won't cough. I'll just carry on drinking. And it was the second part, the carrying on drinking, that was my problem there. Because when the cough does come, things just get messy. So I'm going to have to swill that coffee off the deck. Brilliant. So yeah, I'm going really politely slow. Just in tick over, so my engine's not really audible. It's not making a massive noise. The other good thing actually about this early move is it's a Friday, and quite often in many areas that's a busy day on a boat. Sorry, not on a boat. It's a busy day for traffic. Lots of boats like to move. The biggest, obviously the busiest days of the weekends, because people who are working full time and stuff, that's their chance to get out on their boat. So that's always the busiest, I've found anyway. In summer, definitely. Slightly different rules in the winter, as you can imagine. Oh. So my cruise will be over, because I'll only be another half an hour. My cruise will be over before I've even had a coffee, because I sort of can't really drink that now. I've got a few sips. But yeah, it was handy moving early, because it means I didn't get charged by the marina staff, because there's nobody on. I think it was, I left at 7:15ish, and so I'll be parked up, moored by 8 o'clock, probably. Not long after 8, which is mad really. That's the time I'm normally looking to think about setting off. Oh, and I had a bit of an incident with the hose at the marina. Serves me right for getting the water without paying. Mind you, I was a customer. I did get some coal and diesel and stuff 2 weeks ago when I arrived, so I wasn't a total sort of scumbag or whatever. I have been a customer, but the upside of it, hang on. Now I've also got a bit of a problem in that one of my clever gimbals is telling me it's overheating, and I don't know why that would be, but I'm not a fan, as you can imagine, so I'm going to try it again. Okay, that's good, it's working this time. And the reason that's good news is because it's much easier to play around with than this other one. Boat's heading for the bank. So, quick bit of camera shenanigans there. Don't know if it'll work, we'll see. So now I've got coffee. My boots are getting, pardon me, my boots are getting coffee on them. Actually the gimbal's back in action, so that's okay. But it means I'm missing the front one, and that's not so great. I mount one separately on the front. Anyway, once I'm underway, I can't really sort of stop and change things very easily, so I just tend not to. I'll live with whatever camera I've got. As I say, I'll be stopping in sort of 40 minutes ish anyway, so yeah, I'll be stopping soon, so no point going mad. Nice moorings. This is just gone past. I was messing with the camera so I couldn't show you, but just gone past King's Orchard Marina, and it's a lovely spot. This is a beautiful spot. We've got some moored boats on the towpath side. Plenty of space though, I would say. Plenty of space for a few boats, so at least two. Am I going a bit faster than I should? I feel like I might have. I'm only at 1,000. So it shouldn't be. I'm going to get the little speedometer thing up. Got to get myself a decent speedometer app, honestly. Can't be that difficult. It doesn't need military precision. This is saying 1.9 to 2.5. I don't know what my speed is exactly. 2.3, perhaps a little bit over 2, so I'll take a smidge off. I'll take a smidge off. It's a beautiful neck of the woods though. Really nice. And handy for Lichfield, although you can't cross over, can you? There's no point. If you're more on this side, the towpath side, you could get to the roads via King's Orchard Marina there. Seen the wooden superstructure they've built on that? It's even lockable. It just goes to show, you know, you don't need a £200,000 brand new build narrowboat to go boating and enjoy it, you know. At the other end of the market, and to be fair, the other end of the comfort range, you've got a 23-foot GRP with a built-out back deck to provide extra living space. And someone's making it work. And do you know what? Here's the thing about small boats. I was only thinking about this the other day. So it's a hot topic. Is that when people live aboard most of the year, right? Well, I live aboard obviously all of the year, but there are lots of people who live aboard for 9 months, you know, say, and go back to the house or do different things. Anyway, you know, some for 6, some for a month in the summer, that's all they get. You know, full-time working, etc. You get where I'm coming from. So there was a point to all that. What was the point? Oh, shit. Oh, about space. So because this is my home, 365 days a year, everything that I have has to be on board. So even though it's 50 feet long, it's a tight squeeze. By the way, talking about tight squeeze, this channel, I've just realised, is ludicrous. I'm going to have to pay attention because I've got 1.5 boat widths of clear channel, and it's massively overgrown with reeds on the towpath side. I might as well get my foot down a bit, actually. So this is a weird little section, absolutely jam-packed with reeds. Hopefully, I've got my repellent. I haven't used it, but if I start seeing any evidence of the dreaded horseflies, I will swing into action. You just watch. So far, Perhaps it's just slightly early in the day for them, I don't know. But yeah, over on my left, sorry, me right, the A38 curves off and there's a railway line goes off. Now it's a mile away or more. The canal has diverged because it followed. The canal paralleled the A38 for a little way, perhaps a mile, I don't know. Now it's gone its separate way. So we can't be far off. I feel like we can't be far off Whittington. No, we've still got a bit of a way actually. Yeah, I say a bit of a way, 1.5 miles. Still got 1.5 miles. So it's, you know, let's say an average. I think it's probably advisable to assume an average of about 2 miles an hour. Why is this? That's a lovely boat, that, isn't it? Lovely name as well. Sort of out into the wilds a little bit now as well. I mean, that's not even farmed land, that, where this giant pylon is. That's just waste ground effectively. There's no crops, there's no animals, and it goes on for a good mile. Reeds on the right. Yeah, the sun and the shade thing is making it a little bit tricky. But what I've got to do is get this camera mounted, because I can't keep holding it. More boats. Damn. More boats, so I've got to slow down. Yeah, the great thing about moving this time of the morning is there'll be not much chance of other boats or traffic. I think I started to say that earlier on. Sort this damn thing out. I wonder, right, if I steer the boat with my backside, can I sort out this thing? So I'm still struggling to mount, believe it or not. I've been at it 15 minutes trying to get the phone into that gimbal so I don't have to hold it. And I'm still struggling with it. I'll get like 5 seconds and then the boat starts swinging out. You've got no play wiggle room when you've got boats moored like this and reeds there. Beautiful little spot. Several boats moored, even though like there's nothing here. There is bugger all here. And here's one with a beautiful Tolkien name, Lorien. Right. How do I get this thing mounted? I need to steer the back end, steer the boat with my back end, and then so I think we're entering Whittington. Oh, the plough! No, we're not far enough. This isn't a town. So this is the plan, the famous pub. You won't see it now. I say famous among boaters, you know, that kind of thing. But anyway, you could moor under here. There's Armco. It looks like it's legit. There's no way I'm mooring under a railway track. Absolutely no way. Talk about no sleep. So, looking at this, and you hear the train go over there. I've got to show you this, another Lord of the Rings one. Lothlorien. And look at this, there's some kind of a little arm going on here. I'm just watching ahead while I'm pointing the camera. Look, it's sealed off with some kind of fencing, but it looks like a private marina. Don't know what it would be. A Lichfield Cruising Club. Sign right in front of me, as usual. So here's their premises. Here's their HQ. I must love this place. We're not even, it's literally a cruising club, but I think it's worth remembering. Lichfield is about 1.5 miles away. So this is not a handy place for Lichfield if you go by foot. I may stop here when I make my proper journey south. This is a temporary journey just to meet the requirements of CRT that I move every 2 weeks, but I've got to go back and get or sort out the central heating fix. So as Arnold Schwarzenegger said, I will be back. This is just a move to satisfy the authorities, but I will make a permanent move south in another couple of weeks. Whenever the central heating is done. I've forgotten the point of the whole thing about making a move south. Anyway, the good news is, right, I'll be moored up. It's not 8 o'clock yet, but I'll be moored up 7:45, oh my god, 7:45 and I'm nearly finished. Got about 2/3 of a mile. I'm just going to put a little bit more on, because I'm literally tick over. I'm just going to stick a teeny bit more speed on. Because it's a fairly still day, so I can get away with doing this, like going so slow. And I've noticed that we've run out of Armco as well. We've run out of Armco on the towpath side. There's some Armco on the off side, but they're private moorings to do with the Lichfield Cruising Club, I think. So you're not stopping there. They will descend upon you and tear you limb from limb. Right. So because this move, that's what I was going to say. Because this move is to satisfy the authorities, it needs to be a certain minimum distance. Now I don't know for sure what that is. It's generally at least a couple of miles. So from here, I've still got potentially a mile, yeah. We're not, I'm getting a bit premature. We're not there yet. Still got like a mile. I was talking crow flies at distances earlier. Made that mistake before. Actual cruising distance probably still the best part of a mile, which at this speed is 30 minutes, isn't it? About 2 miles an hour. Probably going a little bit slower for some of that stretch back there. I'll get a little bit of revs on. But I'll be moored up in time to normally when I'd have my first coffee of the day. I wasn't sure if I'd make it this early, to be honest. I just randomly woke up at sort of 5:45 this morning. Was it even that? Possibly a tad earlier, but woke up super early. And I was laying there thinking, oh, I'm not getting up yet, or you know, the various thoughts that go through one's head in that scenario. And then I remembered I had this early cruise on, so I thought, why not just get up now at 5:45? Just go for it, you know, rather than 7 o'clock and be discussing payment with the staff. And not that I mind, by the way, you know, it's only ever a nominal charge. Most I've ever heard of people paying is like a £5 to fill your tank. And it'll cost you a £5 in diesel to get to the nearest water point from here. So it's a false economy. If you need to stay in the area, it's a false economy to spend the money on fuel to go and fill up for free when you can pay them £2 or £3 and fill up. I don't know, maybe they will charge you £5. I've heard some mariners say, oh yeah, we charge £2 for water, and it's metered, they have to pay for it, and your tank is a big amount. So I'm not accusing them of being stingy. I do understand it. I'm too close. The boat doesn't feel like it's steering properly, and I know why. It's because I'm too close. Right. I'm too close to the offside. It's turning now. The boat wasn't turning on me. I was worried there I was going to hit that boat. I got way too close to the offside. Stupid thing to do. And that thing happened where the boat refuses to turn around the bend. They passed me. That boat passed me yesterday. I had a bit of a heart-stopping moment there. What happened was I went too close to the bank on that side, just looking around, you know, whatever the stupid things that I normally do, and I got too close, got stuck on a shallower bank or something, and I started to notice the boat wasn't responding to turn and thing. Now that boat's ahead of me, so I've got to turn around a bend, and that same thing happened. It's happened a few times. Where was the Furness Vale was the worst one. That was a nightmare, that. But anyway, so all of a sudden I find myself heading for this boat, this moored boat, and unable to turn away. There's some very early walkers out there. I say very early, it's not that early now, is it? 7:45. Morning guys, bright and early, that's a ticket. think I'll give myself a couple more revs. I feel like I've just hit horsefly with my finger. I sort of wait. No, that is horsefly. That is definitely right. Okay, the game's afoot, guys. They're about. It's official. That one. Do you know what? If it was the same one, fair play to it. Because I clobbered it with me, the backhander. Waved at it. Actually hit it. And then the thing came back and landed. Okay. We need to... If they're out and about and they're that determined here, then we need to take precautions because we're in deadly danger. So let's just check where I am with this little bridge hole. Here we go. The sad thing, gutted to say it, but the sad thing at the moment, well, many sad things, but the sad and annoying thing is the first attempt to fix my central heating didn't work. So I'm kind of skeptical about whether there's going to be a cheap or easy fix. And with Eberspacher central heating units, everything becomes very expensive very quickly. Like many people would charge £100 for a service, which they'll remove it, strip it all down, clean it all out, reassemble it and reinstall it. And they'll put new gaskets and seals and things. And I guess 8 times out of 10, maybe that solves it for the customers that they have. But sometimes it doesn't, and it didn't in my case. And I'm faced with a very unpalatable bill for potentially £1,000 for a new central heating unit, which is just... I mean, okay, look, on the plus side, I've got a brand new unit that'll probably be good for at least 8 to 10 years. So as long as I'll be on this boat, I'm covered by working central heating. And that's something worth having, because this unit is 8.5 years old now. It just goes to show, this is the thing I think people don't understand. Things are always breaking on the boat. Like every couple of months, something will bite the dust and there'll be a bill. I'm just going to lower the revs very slightly. I'm getting too close to the offside again. Get myself away. I'm bringing my weight over to this side of the boat to lift the side, lift that side off of any obstructions. But basically I've gotten way too close. You can get suckered into thinking it all looks like canal, and it's not. Much of the offside could be 3 inches deep. You just can't see quite often with the mud. Not mud, you know, the water's cloudy. These people are probably thinking, what is this idiot's on the road for so early? I don't even know for sure if today is the day that they come around to check out the boats. I'm assuming it is. Because I spotted one 2 weeks ago and it was a Friday. 2 weeks today. So let's get over to the right side of the cut again. I'm drifting over. It's an unconscious tendency with me to give space for the more boats, and sometimes you'll get into trouble. Now it is an interesting boat. steel hull. Is it steel? It's very unusual construction with like a two-level cabin. Oh my god, there's little chicks. I can't stop, guys. Tiniest chicks imaginable. I'm sorry. Can't stop here. I mean, there's arm. I could stop here. She's pursuing me as well. No, I'm not going to do it. It's amazing, you know. I think ducks can read body language pretty well. She knew. Somehow she knew I was contemplating pulling over to feed them. But it's too late to stop now. There's a boat up ahead of me, and for me to stop now, it's going to be all sorts of shenanigans. Revving the engine and all that. I'll feed them on the way back, but they were tiny. I couldn't manipulate the camera or see anything of them, but they were so small. You'd think, you know, they're not long out of the egg or whatever. It is eggs, isn't it? I know it's eggs, I'm just joking. They went literally, some of them are so tiny you just think that's got to be a few hours old. These were the fraction bigger. Not that much. So I know it's 8 AM from that noise. There we go. That's my normal 8 AM alarm. Right, I might as well get a couple of revs on. It's going to be vital to get those little duck chicks fed up and up to size, you know, so fewer predators fancy eating them. Another more boat, so I'm going to take the revs off again. Is this Whittington? There's a big building on the right. I feel like this has got to be Whittington. Feels a bit soon. But there are houses, and Whittington's the only place. So I feel like, soon or not, this is it. Anyway, I'm going to check with the map. Absolutely fantastic name. The best name I've seen on a boat, and I didn't catch it again as I'm steering between two more boats down the middle here. The name of the boat was Piggy. Absolutely amazing. What a name. Anyway, first of all, okay, so the phone no longer accepts my fingerprints. Sorry, I'm just looking, there's a bridge hole ahead. This looks pretty good actually. This must be the northern edge of Whittington. There's some nice houses on the right. The boats are moored. I never moor opposite houses if I can, directly opposite, because I tend to feel as if you're impinging on the privacy of the householders a little bit. Oh, excuse me. So bridge 60, is it? 80. Right. So those were the moorings at the northern end of town. Yeah, this is the outskirts of Whittington. So I've now got a stretch of about half a mile of canal to find a mooring spot. Now there's a road there, steps up to a road, so this would be quite good, but there's no Armco. In a way, the further the better, because the further away means less chance of CRT having a problem with my move, you know, saying you didn't move far enough. Right, so I've got some Armco there, and looks like a half decent spot. Must be a big railway somewhere nearby. Sound like a fast train. So I could do with a comfort break. Now that I've had that coffee and several cups of water, I could do with a comfort break, and I mean that inclines me to stop sooner rather than later. But I also need a bridge where I can get up onto a road in case I need the co-op. I don't think I will. A co-op. So these are good moorings, but they're under trees. There's 2 more opportunities. This is one of the most beautiful little passages through a village that I've seen. The houses are so well kept, the gardens are gorgeous. This is quite a posh little place. In a place like this, the co-op could be worth a visit, because they probably will stock 1 or 2 little lines of decent food from local producers, and some of them are just really nice, particularly if they've got a farmer who produces pies locally. So there's a spot here I could use. Just checking I've got nothing ahead. I had that awful feeling for a moment. I've not looked ahead for a while. I've been admiring the houses, making sure I've not, because when it's like this, when the light is so dappled and the shadows are so dark, you know, it's easy to miss something like a rowboat, you know, that might be just bobbing around the waterline. It would be easy to miss in the shadows, so I'm sort of keeping a bit of a lookout. So I guess I'm looking for a spot. I think I'll try and see if there's a spot that's got a boat not too far away. I'm not one of those people who want to, you know, arrive in a spot and then pull up, 2 yards from the nearby boats, you know. I like to give people a little bit of space where it's possible. It isn't always, but I like to try. So I'll look for a spot where perhaps there are a couple of boats, at least one boat. The other thing is, when you're not the only boat around, so when you are the only boat around, let me put it this way, you can become a bit of a local attraction to the youths, and even decent youths like you'll get here. I don't mean decent like city boys aren't decent, they're decent, but you know, better behaved, let's say. there are some less well behaved lads who knock about city centres, you know, all cities, but even the posher lads can be a bit of a nuisance. Seldom a problem, a real problem, you know, sinister problem, seldom that, but you know, there can be a headache sometimes, noise issues or playing around. Absolutely fabulous little boat, yeah. The admirable, it is admirable, the Admiral Benbow. So we've got our anchor here. We're very sheltered by trees. I'd like to find a more open mooring, so I'm going to carry on. And also, this makes my move a little bit further away than it was. So again, the further I go, the less chance there is of CRT objecting and saying you've not moved far enough. So I've got potentially now another third of a mile. Canal's going to go round a bend to the right. What I'm sort of looking for at the moment is somewhere which is a bit open, so the interior of the boat gets plenty of light. So we're coming around the little sort of town. It is a very small town, pretty small town, of Whittington. We're coming around it, and most of it is on the, well, it is all on this side. The canal skirts around the edge of it. This side is open fields, and you do see that with many little canal towns. I say canal towns, you know, towns that the canal skirts very close to. Just looking for where this bridge hole is. Here we go. I feel like we're in the slightly less posh part of Whittington here. The houses they're nice and they're still well kept and everything. It's not that. It just doesn't feel quite as well heeled as that northern part. That felt quite exclusive. The houses were very posh. But here, I mean, it's really nice, don't get me wrong, these are look, but they're much more standard sized houses, aren't they? They're all a standard shape, they're a standard size, they're all semis. The gardens are lovely. This is not, don't get me wrong, obviously this is a well kept, well to do, it's nice. This is a nice area and you won't have any problem here, I'm sure of it. But is it open enough? And there's no boats here either. Right, I'm running out of space. I've got 0.2 of a mile, so I'm running out of space if I want to moor. I don't like mooring opposite houses, and I also can't see any boats nearby. Do you know, I wouldn't be surprised if there were no boats. I wonder if I'm the only boat down this end of the town. I wonder, is it only me going to be down here? I was hoping for a bit of safety in numbers, but that might not work. We're coming down to the south edge of Whittington in a few hundred yards. I'm pretty sure it'll run out, and I'll need to pull the boat over. As I say, I don't like to park opposite a garden. Actually, I want to test the central heating, so I might make diesel fumes as well. Yeah. This is Whittington ends. Okay. I'm gonna have to pull over here because this is the end of Whittington, and it's also there's trees overhead, which is less than ideal. Trees, so it's a bit overlooked and shaded. There's no open sections up ahead, but there's no sections here where I can park without getting in someone's face a little bit. And I'm going to be the only boat as well. Thankfully the towpath's good. Right. Not as easy as I thought it would be. Pick my perfect spot. This might do it. This could be it. Yeah. Found it. I've just gone past a massive opening in the hedge. So this is going to do. The opening in the hedge gives me light. Right. Let's get the boat moving. So here we are, folks. Just moored off. That boat down there just went past. I've not straightened out the front panels yet, but here we are. Loads of overgrowth here. I'm gonna have to trim some of that back, otherwise I'll be invaded. But it's a beautiful place. We're at the south edge of Whittington, which is on the other side of the canal over here. The canal curves around the small town of Whittington. This is just about the point where it leaves it, maybe a teeny bit further on. The canal separates from Whittington, so there are one or two houses still there. It's not rural yet, but on this side, it is very rural. And I've parked here because of this gap. This gap in the hedge, because I'll get loads of solar, I'll get loads of light in the windows. So, you know, I'm not switching lights on. Excuse me. Stuff like that. So, yeah, nice and bright. Very welcome. So there we go. Lovely little spot. You know, few days perhaps. We'll see how it goes. So, yeah. Bye for now.